All right, so I'm gonna spend a little bit more time doing some pogos today. Just watching some film lately of me sprinting, just not feeling that bounce off the ground like I should. So, gonna work on ground contacts today. So, I'm gonna start kind of easy, and then get more and more intensive as we go. All right, so just regular pogos, feeling the ball of the foot every time. Just really making sure that when I'm hitting the ground with the ball of my foot, that I don't feel my heel just collapse. That means I got no tension on the backside here. If the ball of the foot's hitting and just collapsing. So I want to have tension through the backside. Okay, just think of it as like a really tight rubber band. Okay, if you if you keep the tension through it, it should allow you to get that extra spring off instead of collapsing and melting into the ground. All right, so we're gonna start building up intensity a little bit more now. So again, focusing on as quick off the ground as I can and get as much height as possible, but go about 75, 80% right here. Now you guys can also notice that when I'm going, it's I'm not doing like a normal jump. With a normal jump, okay, my knees are bending. Now I don't want to be locked out, right? Because that's going to cause some injury issues on its own. But we want to be stiff through the patella as well, so it's not here, that it's as rigid as we can and provide that bounce off the ground. Okay, so now I'm going to try to go for max height, okay, and as low time on the ground as possible. Okay, so this is gonna be max effort here. So if you do a set of max effort pogos, it'll be a little bit strenuous. Most people don't do these with near enough intensity. They just kind of bounce through them and kind of do whatever. If you do this correctly, you might be out of breath a little bit and might actually require some rest time after. All right, so next we're going to go with band assisted pogos. The whole point behind these is let the band help you. Okay, so the band is going to help you be quicker off the ground so your body can get used to that feeling. It's also going to bring you to a higher altitude. So what that's going to do, okay, is prepare the body. So the higher you get, obviously the bigger impact you hit on the ground. Obviously with the band, it kind of takes the impact away. Okay, but the concept is still the same. Okay, the higher you get, the more impact you're going to have on the ground. So it gets the body ready for that, as well as, like I said, being super quick off the ground. So just going to grab a little bit of band. We don't need it to help us a ton. We're not trying to hit our head on the ceiling, although we are still trying to go for height. We're looking for the pogo, not a true jump action. So get set here, kind of pull down, get some extra tension. And again, all the principles stay stiff in the patella. Okay, pull the toes up, expose the ball of the foot, be stiff on the backside with the calf complex. So then we're going to go to step up position or sprinter position pogos. Just like with a step up, like how you do in the weight room. We don't want this leg that's on the bench to help us all that much. Like we don't want it to be like I'm doing an actual step up. That defeats the whole purpose. We're not getting any bounce out of here. So we want as little tension through the lead leg as possible. We want everything on the plant leg. Again, try to pull the ball, pull the toe up so we expose the ball of the foot. Okay, and being as rigid as we can, as quick as we can, get as much air. So. Typically, you're going to feel a little bit of a difference side to side. That can just be kind of a mental cue. So you can focus on one side versus the other. And typically, you'll feel it when you sprint too. You might feel like one leg really bounces off the ground when you make contact, and the other one just kind of dead. So it kind of gives you another learning point. So like, hey, I really got to focus on one side versus the other. All right, now that we're done with some pogos, kind of treat them as an extended warm-up. Now, obviously, we wanted to get some intensity there, and there was a certain training goal. But now we're going to move into some actual plyometrics, some actual jumps. We're going to do some hurdle hops here. We're also going to head outside and do some bounds, again, with the intention of spending as little time on the ground as possible and get as much flight time as possible. Again, just kind of going back to the whole thing, what I've noticed with my sprinting is just I'm not feeling the pop that I want. I'm not getting as much vertical force as I would like. So I'm trying to work on that here. Hopefully that can translate over to my actual sprint. So just gonna line up hurdles. If you don't have hurdles, you can also just imagine you got them and just jump over something. But again, get as high as we can, as quick as we can. From there, moving into our bounding sequence. Wanted to be more vertical and quicker off the ground with these, so started small and fast. The only thing I really changed was then the intensity back into the ground. That's what's really going to get me the difference in intensity, is just how hard I'm pushing into the ground with the foot. And that's really anything with your sprint drill work, is just the intensity you put into the ground is what's going to just amplify the intensity of the drill. So you can see as the form line is not much different, just how hard I'm pushing in the ground. From there, I went in my fast fire series. Is something I haven't done in a long time, really. One of my favorite all-time drills, really gets the nervous system ready to go. As sprint specific as you can do without really doing any sort of specific warm-ups. All right, so with flying sprints, um, really, I do a couple to kind of warm up. So I kind of go like 70, 75%, 80, 85%, and then one at like 90, 95%, or what I feel like is that. So this is gonna be my last one. I did a couple prior. So this one should be close to his normal sprint speed as I can without actually doing what I would call an actual training rep. So I'm gonna try to give this one a go. All right, first training rep here. Really gonna try to get going. Try to get as close to one as I can. My 90% didn't feel, or wasn't as fast as I was like. So hopefully we can get as close to one or sub one as we can.